Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and we are back here on this talk show we got going on, and we're back to give you guys some of the news that you might not know, and maybe some updates. So, with that being said, let's get to this. So the first news we got that's coming out is the new Toonami schedule, which will be coming out September 29th. It will be starting 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. My thoughts on this is why not just start it at 8 p.m.? You know what I mean? Because it would make more sense if we started it around 8 p.m. Because I mean, what's the whole point of doing a 9 p.m. thing if you know the Adult Swim starts at 8? Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean there. So here's the thing. Here's going to be the schedule that's going to happen here. They're returning Dragon Ball Z Kai at 9 p.m. Why? I have no freaking idea. No one gives a damn about Kai. People weren't watching the Buu Saga. Just bring back the original Dragon Ball Z. Like, seriously, this is getting annoying. What are they going to do? Go back to the Saiyan Saga with Kai now? So, yeah, just stupid. They have My Hero Academia now going to be at 9:30. Again, reruns. It's not relevant until they get caught up, and then maybe possibly we get some new episodes. Don't know how that will work since they do the stuff on Funimation now, unless, you know, the agreement is that once they catch up that they can start having the broadcasting rights. Don't know how that worked or how that's going to happen. 10 o'clock, they are moving Naruto Shippuden up to 10 o'clock. And, you know, it's kind of irrelevant because, I mean, let's face this right now, guys. Let's face this. 10 p.m. for Naruto Shippuden, which they're about 300 episodes behind, right? From where they're currently at, which is like 458. That's how many episodes that have been released, I guess, on DVD and, you know, digital downloads and stuff like that. So, overall, I just don't get the point here of them doing this, of moving this up. You know, you got to watch this, like, on your PlayStation or direct download thing to watch it because there's no stream service to watch it on just to catch up. I am, like, on episode 372, I think, I just watched yesterday. I'm at around the, you know, the part where, you know, Naruto's fighting, spoiler, he's fighting Obito, you know, and, you know, the whole war thing that's going on, you know, the past. They just showed, like, the whole past, what was it? The past of how the Leaf Village was created. That was what it was. It was the creation of the Leaf Village, you know, the Uchihas and Semyo clans and stuff like that. First Hokage versus Madara and stuff like that. And they just got to the part where Sasuke, like, was talking to all the Hokages because Orochimaru revived them all or whatever. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of shit that you guys don't know right now because Toonami are slowpokes and are still making you wait, even though it's already out. It makes it even more stupid because anybody can just go online and watch it because it's like, you know, hey, you know, 300 episodes behind is pretty shitty, you know, the way I see it, for anybody, you know, especially when you got the new show coming out, right? 10:30, like I said, they got the new show coming out. or Bariko, Naruto: The Next Generation. Like I said, this is pretty stupid since it's not like Z where there's already like an anime done. Kai was a remake. There is no Naruto Kai. So again, it's stupid. They got now Dragon Ball Super at 11 o'clock. I was hoping for two new, and that's another thing too. Why not have 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Super? Like, instead of having freaking Kai. Like I said, start the show at 8. Start the thing at 8 o'clock. Start the goddamn thing at what is the point of starting at 9? Why not just start it at 8? Just doesn't make sense to me. They're gonna have Fooly Cooley season 3, then at 11:30. They're gonna have Attack on Titan at midnight. Should be good. It's getting really good. 12:30, you got JoJo Bizarre Adventure Diamond is unbreakable. No one gives a shit about this crap and their stands bullshit. You know what I mean? Excuse my French, but yeah. If you guys like JoJo, then you can watch this. I personally, my canon is that the show ended at season 2 because everything else is crap. 1 o'clock is Black Clover. Like I said, they're about 6-7 episodes behind from the Funimation now. Again, there's an announcement that they have a season 2 going on, but if you've been watching on the Funimation now, you're already ahead of Toonami. That's at 1 o'clock. 1:30, you got still Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter. You got a rerun of One Punch Man at 2 a.m. 2:30, you got Lupin the Third again, reruns. 3 o'clock, you got Cowboy Bebop. And then 3:30, they are finishing it off with the return of Samurai Jack, which is always good to see the Samurai Jack on Toonami. So yeah, like I said, I don't understand the concept of not having it at like 8 o'clock because Adult Swim is going to start, and then an hour they're going to have 2 airings of, Family Guide or whatever, and then it's going to be, Toonami for the rest of the night. Just started at 8. I don't understand why they have to slowly, gradually, allow it to go to 8 o'clock. Why not just have it start at 8 o'clock? I've been saying this for 3 years for them to start the block at 8 o'clock. Just doesn't, I don't know, man. The way they're doing this shit, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Dragon Ball Super is getting pushed back, since Dragon Ball Super is their highest rated show. I don't get this concept. But My Hero Academia is definitely not doing anything right now for it. Because it's all goddamn reruns. They're in the middle of season 2 right now. Yeah. So that's the thing about Toonami right now. That's the news about Toonami right now. The new schedule. That schedule will be starting September 29th. Again, schedules and changes and everything. So that is the news about that. There's also some news about One Piece. A bunch of episodes of One Piece is going to be coming out at some point late October or early November. So look out for that. I personally think they should have more than that by now, but yes, you'll be getting some of those episodes very soon as well. As well as I said, the announcement of Black Clover Season 2 will be coming soon. I know Season 1 is coming to an end soon on Funimation now, but I'm not sure if it's just going to start right up, because they made it seem like, oh, they're just going to start it right up right when the original Black Clover Season 1 ends. I don't exactly know how long of a break that will be, but we will see in the coming weeks. So, as well as My Hero Academia is continuing on right now as we speak, as well as the movie will be coming out very shortly. So that's kind of the realms of anime right now. News. So in terms of the movie news right now, so far we have, like I said, My Hero, Dragon Ball Z in Japan, or Dragon, not Dragon, Dragon Ball Z, Broly, Dragon Ball Z Broly, movies coming out this January for English dub, and because of that, they are having Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan remastered, or they claim it's fully remastered, and it's English dub only for 15 and the 17th of September. My whole issue with this is they claim it's fully quote unquote remastered, but the thing is, Funimation already remastered this movie years ago, so it's not really remastered. Yeah, and it's being done by Fathom Events. Now, I made a video already about this that I'm not sure if this is the Funimation soundtrack or the original Japanese soundtrack. They never specifically said. I'm assuming it's going to be the original soundtrack, but they don't actually say on their pages, their web pages anywhere. I did try to reach out to Fathom Events, and they said, yes, it's English dub, even though I specified, I know this is an English dub. I'm talking about the English soundtrack. Can you answer this to me? And they replied back to me this, and I then replied back to them, and I haven't heard back from them since. So I also gave them a link to the Wikipedia page for Funimation soundtrack, because apparently they don't know what a Funimation soundtrack is. So, I have no answer about that, by the way, but I'm assuming it is the Japanese score, which sucks, by the way. So yeah, there is that. There's also a couple other movies coming out in about a month. I believe it's a double feature. I'm not sure if it's a special one though, because I heard they were gonna have the Bardock movie coming out or something, but that's not even really a movie. That's a special, so I don't know. But those are coming out in November for Fathom Event. Again, this is all English dub, which is kind of interesting since usually they have a dub and a sub day or whatever with all these limited theater releases. But for Dragon Ball Z, no! It's all English dub, because English dub here is the best. When it comes to Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But yes, it is better. I think that was hilarious, though. There is no news, to my knowledge, of the Code Geass movie, because I know a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about Code Geass, but there is really nothing to talk about until the English dub is announced. Until the dub is announced, there's nothing I can really talk about Code Geass, because I don't watch subtitles. I don't watch the sub movies or any of that stuff. So there's nothing for me to announce about Code Geass. They've been quite quiet about this since the OVAs came out. I would love to announce that they got Natalie's Wonderland license, but it doesn't seem like that's going to ever happen, which it should, by the way. But there is nothing to really report on Code Geass at this time on when the movies are going to be dubbed. I believe there was another movie that was announced. Well, I guess there is some tidbits to report about Code Geass, is that I guess there might be a possibility that the movies actually let me rephrase this. There is something I can report about Code Geass. Is that the season 3 Code Geass that we all thought was a season is going to be a movie. At least for now, it's going to be a movie. Which I think is pretty dumb, because it was promoted as a series. Like, they had all these articles come out and saying it's going to be a series. They were telling us it was a series this entire time. And then all of a sudden, nope, it's just going to be a movie. So now this doesn't mean, I will say this right now, Okay, this doesn't mean that a series won't eventually happen. I mean, look at Dragon Ball Super. Okay, Dragon Ball Super wasn't supposed to be a thing. It was just supposed to be standalone movies. You had Battle God, Revival of F. You know, they were Dragon Ball Z movies, not Dragon Ball Super movies, because there wasn't supposed to be a Dragon Ball Super. So, if the movie does great, it could turn into a series. It could turn into a series. So, they could, do a retelling of the series and whatnot. Who knows? But that's really all I can report about Code Geass. Okay, it's all I can report about Code Geass. Because like I said, they haven't announced any English dub of any of the movies. The retelling movies, they haven't been dubbed yet. They haven't been announced yet. They've only been subbed. Or they're not even really subbed. They've been out in Japan. They've been out in Japan. So there's nothing really to report. There's really nothing to talk about, and I won't be looking at these movies until they come out. So I don't want any spoilers and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't be looking at any of this stuff until it comes out, English dubbed, official. You know what I mean? None of this illegal stuff. Not that it matters. I wouldn't watch it in Japanese anyways. I wouldn't watch the shit in Japanese anyways. I want to watch it in English. Hopefully we get, like I said, I'm almost certain we're going to get all the voice actors back, because we got the ones that, wanted to reprise their roles, or the characters that did show up from the original series, the voice actors for the English cast did reprise their roles, and then everyone else was just casted, with the Funimation voice actors. That you would typically see. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think that will be done in Funimation in California for the movies, though, since more characters are typically going to be, the older characters rather than the OVA, where they had a lot of newer characters and just had a few, characters from the original series, and they just got them to do their, parts, in California. So that's what I think is going to happen. When they announce that this particular project will be done in California. Funimation does have a studio out there in California to do, projects. They don't do as much as they do in Texas, but they do. And I think for the movies, they will be doing it in California, because there are more of the older characters in California. So that's where I think that's going to be done. But I don't have any concrete proof of this, but that's just my personal opinion. Also, I also should announce that Fairy Tail final season will be starting this October as well. So check that out too, as a nice other anime tidbit to talk about. So that being said, also, as much as I don't want to bring this up, when it comes to the world of Warner Brothers and DC, since, I do like DC a lot, with the exception of a certain superhero that is on their brand. We know who he is. But it has been announced that actor who portrays the character that we all hate and is overrated and is a piece of shit and can't beat Goku in a fight, will not be returning to be that said character anymore. And so people are asking, well, is this the end of Mr. Superman in the DC films? The answer is yes. He is done. 100% done. Done. Finito. Out of here. And here's why. Because he sucks. No, I'm just kidding. But he does suck. Here's why he's not coming back. And here's why Superman, the character, is not going to be in the DC universe anymore, or DC worlds. Well, For one, a month ago, they announced that they were going to have Supergirl in the DC worlds. I think they're having the TV series announced or whatever, or they already had a TV series, I guess, and they're basically going to take that TV series Supergirl and they're going to bring her into DC worlds or the DC universe, whatever they're calling it now. And they're basically going to use her as the Superman now in the cinematic universe. And you're probably wondering, well, why would they do that? Because they've seen the success of Wonder Woman. They see what a female character can do on the big screen. And so now they're like, well, let's try it again. Let's try doing more of that because that worked. So that's my theory, but I think it's kind of holds true because, I mean, none of the movies that they've done up to this point have done good. I mean, they haven't done good at the box office. They haven't done good storyline wise. They don't make sense. So my take on it is they are trying to put Supergirl, because Supergirl has had a successful TV series, I guess. So they're trying to take that actor and take that series and cross it over into the DC universe or the movie DC universe or whatever. Now, it could work, but it could also flop. And I personally think it's going to flop because no one knows what the hell the DC universe is doing right now. We have no idea what the DC universe is doing right now. You know, it's in like dire, like, no idea type thing. So yeah, I just don't get where they're at with it. So that's my take on it, and that's where I think they're going with it. For the Supergirl character, Supergirl, I don't think will work, but I definitely think it's more of a step up than Superman, personally, because I mean nothing's gonna do where it was Superman. Okay, so I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When it comes to the DC worlds, DC universe, all that other junk, I'll say it before and I say it again. They have better superheroes overall than Marvel does. Marvel makes better movies, though. And that tells you something. That tells you that the people that are making the DC movies don't know what the fuck they're doing. Excuse my French, but that's the fact of the matter, is they don't know what the frig they're doing. They don't know what people want. They certainly don't know what people want because, I mean, it doesn't even seem like they know what they're doing when they're doing these movies. And the biggest issue is what I've said, and I'll say it again. What were the cartoon series that we remember from DC that got a lot of ratings on television? The Teen Titans, the original, and the Justice League from the early 2000s. Those are the ones that people remember. That is what they should have used. Not this bull crap, New 52, continuity crap that they've been trying to do. Cyborg shouldn't be in the Justice League. Aquaman shouldn't be in the Justice League. God, you know what I mean? None of these people should be in there. You bring in Martian Manhunter. You bring in Hawkgirl. You bring in, the other Green Lantern that was in there, John Smith. You bring in him. You bring in Wonder Woman. You bring in Wally West Flash. You bring in those guys, Batman, obviously, and even Superman to a certain extent. You bring those guys in. That's what you build off of. You do single movies of them, and then you eventually cross them over into the Justice League, and then you do a spinoff with the Teen Titans. Maybe you can even do a spinoff of that Batman movie, where he's with Robin, and it freaking splits up, and that leads into the Teen Titans. And you can do that too. You can have a sidekick group. It works. Okay, if Guardians of the Galaxy can work in Marvel, which no one knew who that was before those movies came out, by the way. If that can work, Teen Titans as like a Guardians of the Galaxy of DC could have worked. But, of course, they had to be stupid and they had to do dumb shit that didn't make sense. And so that's why we're at with DC. I am almost certain that Gunt, who got wrongfully fired by Disney, will definitely be in the DC universe because Warner Brothers have offered him stuff in the past, and at this point, Warner Brothers needs all the help they can get because they are fucking sucking right now. And believe me, guys, I prefer DC over Marvel. And you know what? I call it as I call it as I see it. I call it as I see it. You guys know me. I call the shit as I see it. Okay? I'm not going to be some guy on here that's going to tell you that they're freaking good because, just because. I see it how I see it. That shit is garbage right now. Only Wonder Woman, okay, has done good. Batman v Superman gets a bad rap. It was an okay movie, but it was nothing great. Okay, it was nothing great. The whole bullshit with Batman and Superman. When the Batman decides not to kill him because the freaking person has the same name or whatever. That's freaking stupid. Okay, that whole plot bull crap thing. Batman should have killed Superman, by the way, and he shouldn't have been able to come back. Like he does in the Justice League. So yeah. Justice League, again, okay movie, but nothing great, Not that I could say anything because I didn't think the first Avenger movie was good at all. I think the first Avenger movie is personally overrated. That's just my take on it. But the Justice League movie didn't do anything to really, ground up anything. Because here's the thing. Millennials grew up with the Justice League and the original Teen Titans. So millennials like me that are like adults now, they're going to remember series like this, which is why they should have went in this approach. Honestly, at this point, they should just reboot. They should just reboot and, because, I know a lot of people say, well, that would kind of destroy the Wonder Woman movie, but, the Wonder Woman movie is the only good movie they have in their whole thing. That's it. That's all they have is Wonder Woman. All they have is Wonder Woman. Like, they're not doing a Batman movie, which they should. A lot of people are saying, oh, Batman's losing, his... No, he's not. He's not losing anything. Batman isn't losing anything, okay? The reason why it's not working is because Batman has to be in these, movies with these other heroes that aren't drawing and no one cares about because no one knows who they are and no one knows what they're about and no one knows what they're doing, So that's why the movies aren't drawing. It has nothing to do with Batman. Batman has been a critical hit all the time, with the exception of maybe Batman Batman and Robin, that movie, because that movie was a train wreck. Okay. All the Batman movies have been consistently good when he is by himself. Okay. It wasn't until they started adding other superheroes in Batman movies where Batman started decreasing. That has nothing to do with Batman. That has more to do with the other superheroes and the directions of the film. Okay, Batman has done great. Okay, it has nothing to do with Batman. Batman is still a draw. You do a Batman and Wonder Woman movie, that movie's going to do good because Batman's a draw, Wonder Woman's a draw. And whether Superman fanboys want to acknowledge this or not, Superman is not a draw. Okay, is he a popular superhero? Yes, he is. Is he popular in the cinematic universe? No, he is not. There's not been one movie that Superman has done. I'm talking about every movie that has ever been made, movies in the cinematic. Okay, there's not one movie that has come out in the last 30 years that has been a box office hit. There hasn't. They have not been critically good. Superman is just not a character meant for cinematic. He is not meant for cinematic. And I know this is going to be a bold statement by me because I'm the Superman hater, right? But it is a fact, okay? He is not good on the big screen. And the numbers don't lie. The creative directions don't lie. And the fact that Superman will not be in the cinematic universe anymore tells you that people aren't interested in Superman on the big screen anymore. And never were. So yeah, that is my take on it. I know that's gonna be a bold statement. I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is just a Superman hater." But if you look at the numbers, I'm not lying. The numbers don't lie, and the fact that they are taking off one of the biggest superheroes, the original superhero, right from the 30s, okay, that's been going down all the way to the 30s. The fact that they are taking him off this universe. Cameos, spin-off movies, whatever. The fact that they are taking him off DC World, that tells you something. Okay? They don't just do that just for the hell of it. Okay? They don't do that just for the hell of it. Okay? They don't. They do it because of business. They do it because it's not drawing. Superman has had many chances, many different movies, many different time periods to come up with something that can help them expand that franchise, and nobody is interested. That tells you something. No one cares about him. Okay? So that's why he is no longer going to be in the cinematic universe of DC Worlds, because no one cares about him. Now, granted, they could eventually, just cast a new actor, I guess, later on if they want to. But honestly, at this point, I wouldn't do it. I want to do it anyways, because no one cares about Superman. No one, obviously, they don't care enough to watch his films. They're not drawing. They're not making money. I mean, when Wonder Woman can make twice as much money as Superman, that says something, that more people are interested in something new, something fresh. Now, granted, Wonder Woman isn't exactly that new, but in terms of like the big screen, she is. So, it tells you that people are not interested in that anymore. And, now you could say the same thing for Batman, but Batman, here's the thing with Batman, though. Batman has had years of success. Batman has had many different movies that have been successful. Superman has not. And that's why Batman won't be taken off. That is the difference between Batman and Superman, okay, when it comes to films right now. Batman won't be taken off. Batman will be at some point. I don't know what he'll be doing. I don't know what movie they'll have him in for the future, whether it be like, in the DC worlds of like, his own standalone movie or, cameo or whatever. He will be in DC world still. You can rest assured of that. Superman, nah, he won't be. And this is just a fact. This is just a fact. It's business 101. He's not drawing. He's never really had any good numbers overall for movies. So why keep him? So that's my whole thing when it comes to Superman. Again, I don't like Superman. I hate his guts. Everyone knows I hate his guts. But I'm telling you the facts, guys. Looking up the numbers, you can see it's pretty obvious, because people are shocked why this happened. If you look at the numbers, business sense, it makes complete sense to why, why he was pulled. And it's not the actor's fault, I mean, there's been many different Superman actors. it's not the actor's fault. Hopefully, he can find new work and find a new role that he can do. Where he can be successful in. But right now, it's not the answer. And I don't exactly know where they're going to go with this whole Supergirl thing right now. To where they're going to be, exploring how she's going to fit into the DC worlds, but we'll see. I don't think it's good. I mean, Aquaman, we'll see too. I mean, I personally don't think Aquaman should be in the DC universe or DC world because, I mean, let's face it, Aquaman is a joke. I mean, he's a joke. That's why he was not in the early 2000s. That's why he was not in the early 2000s Justice League. That's not. He wasn't even in. I don't even think he was. Was he in Justice League Unlimited? I don't even think he was in Justice League Unlimited. I mean, that's how bad Aqualad is. Like, no one gave a break about Aqualad, or Aquaman. Like, no one cared about him. He was a joke. I mean, have you not seen? Has anyone not seen Super Friends? Super Friends, like the 80s series that they did. No one liked Aqualad. He is the most useless character in DC. Like, I'm sorry, he is the most useless character in DC. Like, I know they're trying to make him serious now. Like in the last Justice League movie, they tried to make him more serious. But I mean, I'm sorry, I cannot ignore this Joker. Okay, this Joker of a character anymore. Like you can't get that stank out of there once it's been established. Like, he is a joke. He is a joke of a character. So yeah. That's my take on Mr. Aquaman. I hope he does good. I hope he does good. I have my doubts, but I hope he does good. For DC's sake, trust me, we need a hit for DC movies. We really need a hit for DC movies. I mean, we got Wonder Woman, but that's so far all we got. We need a hit. We need a hit. I mean, the Wonder Woman is the reason why Marvel is making a Captain Marvel movie, and it's also the reason why Dark Phoenix is being made from 20th Century Fox. Now, I don't know if that movie will come up, the Dark Phoenix movie, because Fox is currently in the process of being bought by Disney. So we don't know if that movie will get released, but it was confirmed to get a movie release. So I'm just going to go on the assumption that it will. But we'll see. But I mean, Wonder Woman is the reason why those movies are being made. Like, there was no Captain Marvel movie being made until that Wonder Woman movie came out. Then all of a sudden, Kevin Feige decided to make that movie happen. So, you can thank DC for that. And that's great that DC was able to influence Marvel to do something, but that's the only thing they have to their name. That's the only thing. Everything else, it's been like Marvel. Everything else, it's been DC trying to catch Marvel. And basically trying to do the same thing that they're doing. Somehow. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know, guys. But that's just my take on it, and that's where I felt like, I know it's kind of like a little rant, but with the whole news and stuff. But I mean, that's kind of where I feel they should have gone, and I still stick to my gun on that. On where they should have gone with this. I just don't understand what DC is trying to do. And I don't understand where the consistencies are at this point on where everything is at and what the canons are and what's not. But yeah, so that's my little tidbit on that news. It was a lot longer than I probably thought it would go, but yeah. So again, back to Disney and whatnot, and their side of all of this. There's really no updates for the 20th Century Fox merger with Disney at this time. There's still a process going through right now. They have to get approval from every country. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about 20th Century Fox right now. A lot of people are like, oh, well, now it's official because 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Fox, because they officially because they officially got the approval from the government or whatever. They officially got approval from the government, right? As long as they sell off the local station, the Fox local station, because they already have ABC. That people are like, oh, well, it's official now. Now they can, buy it. No, that's not true at all. That is not true. Um, they still have to get approval from China, Europe, all of Europe, China, Japan, basically any place, basically any country that has 20th Century Fox in it or has a 20th Century Fox division in that, country, they basically have to get approval from all those countries too before Disney can finally take over 20th Century Fox. So until that happens, it's still business as usual for 20th Century Fox. They got to develop their movies, which they're going to still be developing X-Men movies. I don't know what's going to happen to those movies. There was supposed to be a Doctor Doom movie that was going to start in production. That's probably not going to happen. Not say that I'm not happy about that, since Fantastic Four's franchise pretty much has been a disaster since the reboot. But it seemed like they were going to do something good with it. But I can't say for sure if they were or they weren't, because I didn't see the film. But then again, I mean, they did do good with Deadpool, so we got to give them that. So maybe they would have gotten it right. Maybe they would have gotten it right with Doctor Doom, but we'll never know. But then again, should they really get another chance? I mean, if we look at it, even if the Doctor Doom film would have been good, like Deadpool or something like that, does 20th Century Fox deserve an opportunity to redeem themselves on that film, on the Fantastic Four film? That's probably the better question. So, and that doesn't mean it won't. It doesn't mean it won't happen, because we don't know where this deal is going to go, because it's still, like I said, has to be approved by all the other countries that have 20th Century Fox districts in it. So a lot of people are saying that this deal is probably going to be done by 2019 or something like that. I actually disagree. I think, even though it seems to be going relatively fast and it probably should be, I still think there's going to be hurdles where it's going to probably be not until mid 2019. I think it's going to be around there. Safe bet. And what are you doing, Pikachu? Pikachu wants to get into the action here. I think it's going to be around the mid, maybe even late, 2019, until we hear like some official confirmation going on with 20th Century Fox being a part of Disney. Films are still going to come out. Films are still going to be developed that are probably going to get thrown out. I mean, I don't think Dark Phoenix or Mutants are going to be thrown out. The films are pretty much done at this point. And they're going to, be in the big screen. And once they're on the big screen, they're not going to pull them, by the way, either. A lot of people are like, well, if, they put them on in theaters and then right after, Disney, merges, they're going to take them off or whatever. And they're not going to take them. Once they're there, they're in there, because the contracts have been signed. Everything has been signed. They have to obligate the contracts for, them being there already, because they already spent money on it. So once they're in the theaters, they're going to be in the theaters. So that's going to be the thing with that. Once they're in the theaters, they're in the theaters. That doesn't mean they have to make home media releases of them, but that would be for another topic if they would do that. But with Disney, we don't know exactly. Like I said, we don't know. And the other thing is they would actually own the Batman series too. They would own the Batman series. That's just no. They should not allow. They should not be allowed to own. They should not be allowed to own that series. That's just my take on that. 20th Century Fox has had it for years because they made it. They made the franchise before Warner Brothers bought DC Comics. Yeah, there's a lot of ramifications with this deal. Disney would actually own Dragon Ball Z Cinematic Universe too, by the way. If assuming that Fox still has the cinematic rights, I think they do because they did the movies. They did the Dragon Ball Z movies, Battle of Gods, Revival of F. So not sure exactly where that would go. But yeah, in terms of the deal, there is no updates. There's no updates, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing, because I honestly don't want Disney having this deal. I think it would be a monopoly if they were allowed to do it. I still stand by that. Yes, that is where everything is at in terms of the news, all the goodies, and whatnot. At least that I've been able to pull up so far. I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, with the Toonami schedules earlier, the movie news, the movie news, anime news. Like I said, that's really about it. I don't know if there's any updates on the other Eureka 7 movie too. I should probably bring that up too. Obviously, the new movie, the first one that was in February for theater, recently got released for DVD and Blu-ray. I don't know exactly, when the next movie will be dubbed or out in theaters. So that's something else to look out for too. But overall, that's really about it in terms of, all the stuff that's going on, Fox, DC, Marvel, anime, Dragon Ball Z. It would be a monopoly. So for anyone who doesn't know, too, is if Disney does get 20th Century Fox, Disney would have 40% of the box office market, which is not good because that's almost 50. I heard someone say that they should buy Sony Pictures. That would be even worse because they would have over 50 by that point if they got Sony Pictures. But if they get 20th Century Fox, that would be a monopoly. They would have 40% of the markets. Not good. Oh, and by the way, before we even end this up, because I remotely forgot to talk about Sony's Spider-Man stuff, the Venom movie is coming out October 4th, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge diehard Venom fan, and I am looking forward to Venom. It's supposed to be PG-13. It's supposed to be the closest PG-13 to rated R movie you'll ever see for a PG-13 movie. Right now, at this point, the trailer says, it's unrated right now, but it's kind of weird since it's September and it's a couple of weeks away. We'll see. I'm looking forward to the Venom movie. I hope it does really good because I'm a huge Venom fan. And if it does really good, there's already a rumor it's been a rumor for like over a year now that Venom is going to be somehow incorporated in the MCU. Right now, they're saying it's not. but there are some whole rumors, and I don't know how true these rumors are. There's a bunch of rumors going on that somehow it's going to connect. Somehow, I don't know how true it is. Like I think it's going to be one of those things where you have to wait and see until the movie comes out, because they have a bunch of reshoots and a bunch of add-ins that they've been doing to this movie. So until any of that stuff comes out, we won't know anything about Venom until that. But I'm very, very happy where it's coming. Venom is coming out very soon, and I'm looking forward to it. October looks like to be a good month for movies. They got Venom in the early October, and then late October, you got the return of Halloween for any huge die-hard horror flick fans for Michael Myers. I am a huge fan of the Halloween franchise, not the remakes, the originals, the original trilogy. So if you're a fan of the original Halloween, you're gonna, really be excited. Also, I should note that this new movie is only it only sequels the original Halloween film from 1978, I believe it was. It doesn't reference anything from 2, obviously not 3, 4, 5, and 6, and H2O and Halloween Resurrection. None of those are in this timeline. It's basically the first movie, and then this movie that is in theaters takes place basically 40 years later. That's what they're basically doing for this new Halloween film, which has excited me. And I'm sure it's going to excite a lot of other fans. And like I said, Venom will be at the beginning of the month. So October's looking like a good month for movies, for people that are interested in, those type of movies. It's looking good. So that's kind of my overall thoughts on movies. Like I said, we've talked about anime, we've talked about Toonami schedules, we've talked about other movies, anime movies, regular movies, well, we haven't talked about the Terminator. So let's talk about the Terminator, because I'll be back. Terminator. So far, there is not really any news of the casting. All we know is that Linda Hamilton will be replacing her role. She will be returning. Arnold Schwarzenegger will be returning. We don't really know anything about if there's going to be a John Connor or anything like that. I don't exactly know where this movie is going to fit in the timeline, or if this is going to be another reboot, which would be kind of weird because we just got Genesis. But this one's actually going to be, James Cameron is going to be involved with this one. So we'll see where this goes. I'm a huge fan of Terminator, obviously, and I am looking forward to what they have planned, because Linda's going to be in. I don't know how you can use Linda, because Linda's much older now, unfortunately, as we all are. Her character, since this is supposed to be like a futuristic thing, I don't know exactly where you can fit Linda Hamilton into this. She died in the third movie. Obviously, that wasn't under James Cameron, so maybe James Cameron is probably ignoring that event as well. It probably just acknowledged the first 2 films, and this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the second film. And no, I'm not counting the Universal Studios special live event, which unfortunately I never got to see. They just closed it down like last year or something like that. I'm still butthurt about that. I would have loved to have seen that live. So yeah, nothing really new about the Terminator. Just what we know so far. I don't know who the new Terminator. They got a couple of new characters, and they got a couple new actors announced, but we don't know what roles they're going to be in. I'm assuming Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be the good Terminator, reprogrammed Terminator. you know, that fights for good. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Someone told me that it's probably going to be like a passing of the torch type deal, you know, but it's going to be kind of hard because other than one movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger has pretty much been in all the movies for Terminator. I know, you know, at this point, eventually it's got to, end. But I feel like, I feel like the movies don't work without. I feel like the Terminator movie doesn't work without Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because they did that Salvation movie, and it was good. It was an okay movie, but it just didn't have the same feel, especially since Schwarzenegger wasn't in there. Um, but I did like the concept because I would like them to do a futuristic war. That we've yet to have seen a futuristic war other than Salvation, which is kind of a prequel of the war. It wasn't like the actual war. We kind of seen it a little bit in Genesis, where we seen how, how he got, how Kyle Reese got to the past. They kind of showed that. But it would have looked a lot better if it was like the original, guys that were doing it. It would have just looked better overall. But yeah, that's kind of what we know with Terminator. I don't know if it's going to come out next year or even the year after that, but I'm hoping that we can see something soon for Terminator, because Terminator, I'm a big Terminator fan right here, guys. Yeah. Dragon Ball Super, like I said, we're currently, where are we at? We're at like episode 78 aired last week, so we got 79 right now coming up next week. I don't exactly, like I said, they should have 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Super because like the movie Broly coming out very soon, or the new Broly movie coming out very soon. People need to catch up, and it's just, it's not really ideal right now. But yeah, like I said, that's really about it. I think I covered everything actually. Now I covered Venom, I covered Terminator, I covered the Fox deal and all the other stuff. So let me know what you guys all think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my reviews, please subscribe. If you like any more of these, live news episodes, let me know. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.